right, gold bugs and gold bulls, I guess. It looks like it's time to celebrate. I don't want to say that actually, maybe I'll take that back. We don't want to celebrate too prematurely. But a lot of gold analysts, technical analysts on a lot of YouTube videos that I follow personally talked about, gold very close to this major resistance level a few weeks ago at 1960. Many were expecting, what from there we get a pullback, which we've had in the last 4 to 5 weeks, and then from there we'd get some sort of bid, which will eventually take us much higher and into new all-time record highs here in gold versus the US dollar. So I'm just here to say that potentially we're in the beginning stages of that shot higher, which might take us above previous record highs. Of course, when you look at the fundamentals, perhaps something to do with the banking system and maybe money getting a bit freaked out, looking for a safe haven to jump into. And, you're not really seeing a big bid in the US dollar. A lot of people like to look at the dollar and gold, obviously, as a negative correlation, right? So if the dollar drops, gold will go higher and vice versa. But there are times, and we've seen this even this week, where gold and the dollar will move up together. And you tend to see this when, there's like real fear, right? You saw this with the GFC. And a lot of people attribute that to gold being the safe haven for the safe haven. So gold being the safe haven from the US dollar. So I think this technical move here on the weekly chart is quite significant. We are retesting, these recent highs here. If you go down to the daily chart here as well, you can see, look how nicely that support level I drew on the weekly chart actually lines up here on the daily chart here at 1820. But we are back above 1900, and we're getting very, very close to test these daily highs here, just slightly above 1950. But as long as gold is above 1820 now, I would maybe even say 1850 if we say that this is some sort of double bottom pattern here. I think things are looking quite positive for gold. But before we, talk about just gold versus the US dollar, I think that's what a lot of traders and investors focus on. I want to show you guys some of the other gold markets. Gold versus the Australian dollar. Boom. Believe it or not, new all-time record highs were printed this week on gold versus the Australian dollar, with gold hitting, what's the highs? $2,936 against the Australian dollar there. So new record highs against the Aussie. If we take a look at the Kiwi, boom, new record highs. Let's just double check. Yep, exactly right there. So if we connect the highs here, which we printed around, 2020, way back during the COVID times, new record highs now. Gold against the New Zealand dollar. Highs actually printed today on the day of recording, where we hit $3,141 and about 10 cents against the Kiwi. Boom. New record highs against the Japanese yen, which printed record highs in 2022. Of course, with all the bank issues with Japan and the 10-year, Japanese yield, and the Bank of Japan having to adjust those yields, and with the yen falling, I think a lot of people were looking at, Japanese money was looking at gold as a way to maybe protect their purchasing power. But we got this breakout now in the Japanese yen as well, and it looks quite bullish. It looks like we're going to make a very, very nice run from gold against the yen. Let's take a look at one more. Gold against the British pound. Boom, believe it or not, new record highs as well with gold versus the British pound. So that's 4 fiat currencies that I mentioned: British pound, Japanese yen, Kiwi, New Zealand dollar, and the Aussie dollar. Gold has already broken above and made new record highs against those 4 currencies. I don't think it's done it yet against the euro. Nope, still some room to go here for the euro. Obviously, we've looked at the US dollar, not at record highs just yet. If we take a look at the Canadian loonie, oh, did we? We did. We did. Okay. Oh, no. See, that's why you got to scroll out. Not yet. We're not near record highs yet against the Canadian loonie there because we had that high printed back in 2020. So still some room to go against the loonie. Let's take a look at the Swiss franc. Still lots of room to go against the franc. Chinese yuan, still some room to go against the yuan. I think the rupee against the Indian rupee, we did print new record highs. When was that? Early February against gold against the Indian rupee. And I just like to look at the Hong Kong dollar for geopolitical reasons and the Chinese yuan at the same time. But we are still far away. So I think it's worth, mentioning that we have new record highs against Japanese yen, against the Australian dollar, against the New Zealand dollar, and against the British pound. A lot of the classical economists will take that as a sign that those currencies, because gold has made new record highs against them, that those currencies are going to be seeing some weakness. So I would, if you are if you are a trader, I would keep an eye out on the Aussie US dollar, the Kiwi US dollar, the British pound US dollar, and also the US dollar Japanese yen. But maybe there's other reasons, domestically, right? Why money is running into gold in those domestic markets. So just want to say, a lot of people are focused on gold versus the US dollar, but I think you should look at other gold markets. And again, this is approaching gold as a currency rather than a commodity, right? So it's if you see money running into gold and some of these other places, it generally means that that currency is going to inflate or see some weakness, and people are going to be losing their purchasing power. Hence why they are running into gold in their countries. And obviously, some people have been talking about the yen, Aussie, and Kiwi dollar, and looking at that as some sort of maybe geopolitical issue, because all those countries are obviously in that part of Asia and Southeast Asia where maybe China is going to get involved with Taiwan or something. So, I would just say this is why I watch the gold markets, because when I see these breakouts, it generally means, money is running either into safety and they're fearing that their currency is going to weaken or inflate, right? They're going to lose some purchasing power. So gold against, the US dollar. Again, a lot of technical analysts have been saying that this pullback is going to see a rally, which will take us into new all-time record highs. And I think with the banking issue occurring right now, and with the likelihood that the Fed is not going to raise rates as much as people thought, maybe just one more 25 basis point hike, gold does actually have some, I guess, fundamentals here to build a bid and take or get a breakout above all-time record highs. And perhaps we're going to see this with all the fiat against gold and the other markets that I just showed you. But that's it for me, folks. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and let me know if you guys are bullish gold. What am I saying? I know there's a lot of gold bulls here who have been looking or been waiting for this big move here. So let me know if you think this is finally going to be that breakout move, or if you think we're going to see another topping near record highs and we drop a bit lower and potentially sort of put that move into record highs sometimes in the future. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys all in the next chart attack video.